Hello, my name is Farshid Farahi. I'm the founder of Open Floor Alchemy, and I'm delighted to be with you tonight and share a ritual that has been very important to me the last several years. On New Year's Day, or sometimes within the first few days of the new year, I do a writing ritual. And this ritual was shared with me by two dear friends of mine, Siri and Matthew Kavanagh. And they invited us. We got together one year. They had us over at our house, and it was a real sense of community. And they gave us 3 sheets of paper. And so, to mark the ending of last year and the transition into the new year, they gave us these 3 prompts. And on the first page, they invited us to write down what we were letting go of from the previous year. So, I invite you to do that. Grab a sheet of paper or two. And write down what it is that you are releasing. Maybe it's something, a loss that you had, a loved one that passed away, or a relationship that ended. Maybe it's a goal that you set, or a resolution at the beginning of the year, if you can still remember what it was, that you didn't achieve, and so you're letting go of that, that coming to fruition. And it could be any number of things: a quality that's no longer serving you, a habit that's no longer serving you, and you put it down on that first sheet of paper. And then in the second sheet of paper, you write down what it is that you are bringing with you, what's crossing the threshold with you from the past year into the new year. Again, it could be something concrete, something that happened, like an event, stayed with you, or it could be something more abstract, like a quality. Maybe you achieved a new level of gratitude. Maybe there was a real deepening of intimacy or vulnerability. Something that benefited you, was a blessing in your life. And on that second sheet of paper, I invite you to do that. Feel free to pause this video at any time, so you can really give yourself a chance to delve in and harvest the goodness from the past year. And then on that third sheet of paper, they invited us, and I invite you to write down what you're calling in. It could be something personal. It could be something that you're longing for, that you want to achieve. Like I started writing a screenplay, and I wanted to finish it by a certain point in the year, or I was working through a personal growth process, and I wanted to get to a certain point. So I called that in. I wanted to make a career shift, and so I wrote that down. So those are some personal examples, and then maybe there's some that are more collective. You wish for all beings to be free. You wish for there to be greater sense of kindness in the world, greater compassion, and it could be some values that you really want to see manifest in your personal life or on a greater scale. So I invite you to reflect and see what it is you're really calling in, what would really uplift your soul and speak to you to see in your world or in the world at large. So I invite you to give the time that you need to each of those. And when we completed the ritual, we shared it with each other. We didn't have to read the whole list, but if there's someone in your life that you would like to share that with, or some aspects of this practice with, I encourage you to do that. And that first sheet of paper, which was the letting go one, we ritually burned it. So if you have some way which you want to symbolize the release by tearing it up, shredding it, burning it in a safe place, feel free to do that. The second one, you can do whatever you want with, some way to keep it close to your heart or really mark it. That's what I would recommend. And then the third one, this last year, I had it up on my refrigerator, and periodically I'd look at it, not as something that I had to achieve or that was driving me in a compulsive way, but something to remind me of what I really had set out to do at the beginning of the year and was hoping to keep cultivating. So there's some ways to use the practice. Take what you like, leave the rest. And I also want to give you the option of doing this in a movement practice. This year, I was leading the dance on New Year's Day for the open floor community dance community in Marin, and I adapted this into movement. So I put a link in the description of a song that we used. It's beautiful, melodious, repetitive. And so for each of these 3 prompts, I invite you to give it a movement. It could be a posture like in yoga mudra, or it could be a repetitive movement, something that has beginning, middle, and end. So hopefully I'm not complicating it, but basically, as you bring something to mind or that list to mind of things that you're letting go, you don't have to write this, but you can just bring to mind something I'm letting go of, or the quality of letting go. And you can give that repetitive movement that embodies that particular quality of letting go. Maybe it's a gentle kind of release that you're doing. Maybe it's a powerful, I'm just launching this and getting it away from me as fast as I can. But whatever the quality of letting go is that you want to use to mark letting go of 2022, the previous year. And then for that second movement of, or that second prompt of, what am I taking with me? What am I carrying with me to the next year? I invite you to have a movement that brings goodness, brings blessing toward your body. So bringing something to mind that you're bringing with you and giving it emotion that kind of anchors it. These are just emotions that are coming to me in the moment. You can find what's real for you as you listen to the music. And then finally, for that last one of calling in, I invite you to bring one of those things to mind that you're calling in, or the general quality of the goodness that you're seeking and magnetizing toward you, and give that emotion. So I would turn to wherever I believe the source of goodness or blessing to be, and I would make a repeated motion or a flowing series of motions. But I invite a repetitive movement. Just really feel that in your body, your heart, your mind, your soul. So enjoy whether you do it as a musical movement practice, or you do it as a writing practice, or both. May it bring you blessings, and any good that you cultivate from it, may it spread to the whole collective. May it ripple out.